Good morning, guys. Captain Dylan Hubbard here at Hubbard's Marina. Captain Garrett, Will, and the boys just got back from a 39-hour fishing adventure with some nice mangrove snapper, yellowtail snapper. Got the elusive yellowmouth grouper, some scamps, couple red grouper. Looks like a decent trip here, Wilbo. How'd you guys do?
Yeah, decent trip. The deep water fishing was great as far as the vermilions and yellowtails and porgies go. And they're not really on top for some reason, but there's tons of huge vermilions in there.
Big old vermilions, huh?
And huge ones in there.
Some nice yellowtails.
Yeah, I got 60 or 50 or 60 of these on one spot. And yeah, lots of yellowtails. Picked at the mangroves throughout the night, but the deep water fishing was really good. We just were running into short jacks in the area we were in, and vermilion fishing and yellowtail fishing was great. The big triggers, there's probably 20 big trigger fish in there.
Nice.
And as long as they're still in season. And
they are.
okay, so there's trigger fish in there. And but all in all, good fishing. Great, in my opinion, great fishing in the deeper water.
Nice.
And we were throwing back huge red snappers. You'll see on the video. And overall, a good trip. Just we're in the wrong area for the jacks, obviously.
Yeah. So the jack fishing was a little tough, but big trigger fish, big vermilions, big yellowtails, and a picky, steady mangrove snapper bite.
Yeah, and this kind of gave us a little glimpse of what we're going to see during that snapper season too. All these big beeliners and good deep water fishing.
Cool, man. Well, I appreciate it, Will. Thank you very much, buddy. Hey, the tuna, how did the tuna come up?
These tunas were all three on anchor.
On anchor, flatline fishing?
I know one was incidental and the other two were caught while I was...
They were caught on big pinfish? All right, dropping down to the bottom.
They were thick down there. But we didn't get them, they changed, you know. We were getting them on the troller, now they aren't biting the troller, but we're getting them on a flat line and sunup.
All right, man. Thank you, Will.
Yes, sir.
Nice pile of fish. Some big mangoes in there. All right, so as Will said, it was a good trip. Unfortunately, the amberjack didn't really cooperate for us too well. And as I've been saying, the amberjack overall has been a little bit slower. So we didn't expect a killer, super thick amberjack catch, but definitely a little frustrating that we couldn't find any of those keepers. But it's a long season. It's a long month of May, so we got a few more weeks here to hopefully find those keeper-sized amberjack and where they're hiding out. And then also keep in mind, they did really well on the big vermilions, triggerfish, yellowtails, and they had some nice red groupers, scamp, and then that unique yellowmouth was a nice bonus with those blackfin tuna mixed in. Keep in mind, guys, we do have that triggerfish season open still. It was funny that Will mentioned if they're still open. Prior to this fishing trip, the FWC, the state, reached out to me to question why we kept triggerfish after May 2nd. They were like, well, triggerfish is closed, and we see here on your fishing report you reported that you caught triggerfish. And I was like, well, triggerfish is open, sir. And we actually had to call the federal Gulf Council, and even they took pause for a second. And long story short, it caused a little bit of a stir when they tried to question why we kept triggerfish. And it went round and round there Tuesday. All in all, ended up being told, hey, you're right, you're able to keep triggerfish, and we don't have any thing on our radar that says they're going to close in the month of May. So hopefully triggerfish will remain open this whole month with those amberjack. Now hopefully we'll be able to dial in on some of those amberjack, but the amberjack bite is definitely tough because there just doesn't seem to be a ton of them around. So that's the tricky thing. We're going to keep sticking and moving, and hopefully we'll find a knot of fish. I know last year for amberjack season in August, September, and October, we were really kind of struggling to find a good number of concentrated fish, and we didn't do so until after some of those hurricanes. And when I think it was Hurricane Sally, that big hurricane that kind of came up into the Gulf and hit around Louisiana, the western side of the panhandle of Florida. That's what pushed a lot of amberjack our way. So hopefully we don't have one of those in May. but that's definitely a lot of times what we see is some of those storms pushing those fish, moving them around. And if they're not here now, perhaps one of those big cold fronts or perhaps an early season tropical system might move some of those fish around. So keeping an eye out for that. And then also don't forget, guys, we have our live show every Sunday night at 8:30 p.m. Hopefully you can join us for one of those live shows. And a lot of you guys have been asking about the sand issue and what's going on with the sand issue. We're going to have an update on the sand issue coming soon, guys. We have a 6-month study going on right now that we had to pay 10 grand for. And very frustratingly enough, we just had our first meeting on that 6-month study to kind of update us on how the study is going and to tell us a little bit more about like the inner workings of the study and allow us to ask questions and provide stakeholder input. And as every meeting throughout this process, the county has made it closed doors, only certain people are invited, which is very frustrating. And then also, the same things occurred. Every time we asked a question about something that was really kind of the root of the issue, we kept being told, well, hold that thought, we're going to get to that. And then the meeting ended because county staff couldn't stay on the phone for more than a 2-hour meeting. It was extremely frustrating. And the scientist is asking for questions and asking for feedback, and then the county staff is telling us, no, don't ask questions. We don't have time for your questions, even though we paid for more than 25% of the study. So super frustrating, and that's only scratching the surface of that incredibly frustrating 2-hour meeting. So more updates on that coming soon. Don't want to bore you guys too much with that in our morning video, but beautiful start to the day. We got our 10-hour all day heading out here shortly. We got our 5-hour half day behind that. And then we've got our Sunday night live stream shows Sunday night at 8:30 p.m. Hopefully you can join us for that. And Steve, I appreciate those 150 stars, buddy. Thank you very much. Hopefully you're having a good Thursday morning. And shout out to all those mothers who are watching the video this morning. Hopefully everybody has a very happy Mother's Day weekend. And hopefully all those husbands out there have their Mother's Day gifts lined up and ready to rock and roll. Hakeem Shakur, I appreciate your 50 stars as well. Hopefully everybody has a great day and a good weekend. We'll see you on another video here shortly, and hopefully we'll see you on the water. Don't forget, if you're too busy to go fishing, you're just too darn busy.